Hi, it's Mike here at Music Villa. Today I'm going to talk about the key of E and some cool ways you can play chords through the key of E. If you watched the last video where I did the demonstration in the Williamson County, that's in the key of E. And I used that song as a demo to sort of recap and summarize everything we've been talking about with chord scales. So we're kind of putting that to rest. I think we beat that to death as far as understanding what chord scales are against the major scale in any given key. So now I want to talk a little bit about some cool ways to play some chords. And I thought since we are coming off of the key of E with Williamson County last week, I could show you some of the chords that I actually used in that song that you may have thought, oh, wait a minute, how did you play that? Especially this B. You saw that B chord and you're thinking, how is that a B chord? So I want to break down some of these cool ways to play in the key of E. So the first thing to look at is when we play an E chord, just your stock run-of-the-mill open E chord, you've got the two high strings, the B and the E string, that are ringing open. And that's the 5, B, and the root E. So they're where we're going to focus on. We're going to call those just open strings that are ringing. We're going to give them a name, maybe call it a pedal tone or some actual name as far as how these notes are going to ring over on the other chords. So when we go to the 4 chord, we would have a traditional A, where the C sharp is ringing on top, right? So if we take that C sharp and we play the open B, the B in an A chord now becomes a 2. So some people would call that a suspended 2. Some people might call it an add 9. Whatever name you want to give it, we're just going to play that B string open against the A chord. So now instead of fingering the C sharp, I'm just going to play these 2 fingers. It's kind of like an E minor chord, just drop it down to the next set of strings. And you get that nice pedal ringing sound. Well, guess what? If we can do that with the 4 chord, we can do it with the 5 chord. So here's the B, traditional B shape. Here's the D sharp on top, just like we had the C sharp on top with the A. We're just going to move it down and play the C sharp, which is now going to be the add 9 to the B chord. And that's all that was. So we have B, F sharp, B, C sharp, and F sharp. So we have this. Really cool ways to play the 1, 4, 5 in the key of E, if you like that sort of color that it comes with adding that second or the add 9. So the next thing we can do, if we have this add 9 on the A, and then when we went to the B add 9, what we did was we barred, and so we actually got the C sharp and the F sharp on top. Well, let's leave the B and the E open. Let's just let those 2 ring the whole way. So this chord that I'm going to play up over the A, I'm just going to slide it up a whole step, and that's going to become my B chord. Now, if I want to get the B root here, I have to kind of play it open like that so these fingers can ring. So it sounds like this. Now, another cool thing to do with the 1 with the E chord is to do the same thing. Put the second in that. Add 9 to the E would mean I need this F sharp right here. So you'll see this chord. Really pretty chord. It's a great ending chord. So now we can put all that together. Okay, so that's some cool things you can do with the 1, 4, 5 and E. Excuse me. Next, we can do the same thing, the same 4 or 5 chords, but we can move up. So here's an A chord, right? This is your F shape. Move it up to the 5th fret, and you've got your A chord. Move it up to the 7th, and you've got your B chord, right? Well, let's keep the B and the E strings ringing. So take this shape and just put it to these 2 fingers. So now we have this. And then we can move that up a whole step to get the B, and we have that. So you have that sound. So now we have stuff going on there with those shapes. It's all just 1, 4, 5. So I'm going to give you a real quick example of a song I played, which I think we actually demoed on one of the guitars that we just demoed earlier today too. It's an old song from days back when I used to play in a church worship band, and with an electric guitar with some real nice chorus on it. But you can recreate that sound with an acoustic guitar, and it's just as pretty. So here's that same idea. This is A, B. If I come all the way up to the 7th fret, I have E, and I have my open E for the low end, and I keep those pedal chords ringing. So I have that sound. So this is what's going to be anchored. This is never going to move. All I'm going to do is move the bass notes. So now I have E, and I'm going to go E to C sharp minor to A to B. So it's a 1, 6, 2, 5. 1, 6, put the C sharp on there, to A, put the B. Now if I take that down to the traditional chords, go to the C sharp minor, that's just a regular C sharp. Now I'm going to play that fancy A chord, go down and get that B chord, so you can start mixing and matching all this stuff. So that's some cool ways to mess around in the key of E, just using the chords that we know out of the key. The 1, 4, 5, we added the 6, we added 1, 6, 4, 5, and we just let those bottom strings ring. So play around with that, see if you enjoy experimenting with those open strings and working in the key of E like that. It's a really cool thing to do. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you have any questions, feel free to post them. We've been reading your posts and your comments and been enjoying doing that, and thanks for doing so. And that's it for now. We'll see you next time.